Well, the government's failed to assure the UN's Human Rights Commissioner that its impending deal with Malaysia is legal under international law. Today she also described the mandatory detention of asylum seekers as racist and driven by short-term political advantage. But the government was seeking advantage in another area today, turning opposition questions about Wayne Swan's honesty into an attack on the coalition. Here's our political correspondent Tom Higgledon in Canberra.
A historic birthday in Parliament House.
Never before has the 21st birthday of a member of the Federal Parliament been celebrated.
Tony Abbott gave baby-faced Liberal backbencher Wyatt Roy a copy of 2 books by Sir Robert Menzies. He already had one written by the opposition leader.
Tony, I'm going to put this next to battle lines in the office, so...
The immigration minister's battling to fight suggestions from the UN's Human Rights Commissioner that the government's Malaysia people swap deal isn't legal under international law.
But she did very much welcome the conversation that we had and told me that she was warmed by some of the things that I explained to her.
But the Human Rights Commissioner had cooled by the time she fronted the media when it came to how the government intended to protect asylum seekers sent to Malaysia.
And of course, as I said, the government responded to this by informing me that the agreement will include written undertakings to protect asylum seekers. However, in my view, as international jurisprudence has shown, assurances are not a sufficient protection.
Tony Abbott's predicting a deal with Malaysia won't even eventuate.
Is it a popular choice? Yes, Abbott's brand.
He's been climbing in the polls by attacking the government's trustworthiness.
Becoming more popular all the time, eh?
Carbon tax has been the focus of his attacks.
And don't proceed with this toxic tax.
But despite its battering in the polls, the government's becoming increasingly confident on the subject of climate change, exploiting apparent differences amongst Conservatives about how to deal with it.
And in fact, Mr Speaker, 2 of the opposition front benches have over the last week shredded the Leader of the Opposition's sham subsidies for polluters policy on climate change.
And the Climate Change Minister drew attention to the attack from some Conservative MPs yesterday on a report from the Climate Change Commission.
We've had Senator Boswell out, we've had Senator Abetz out, we've had Senator Minchin out. The fact of the matter is simple on this issue. Those on that side deny the science. They will not respect the scientific evidence and they have no credible policy to deal with it.
As the government finds its feet on climate change, the opposition's been looking for ways to broaden its attack on the government's honesty. It's been suggesting Wayne Swan misled the public when he said he was ambushed by a move last week from Western Australia to increase royalties on mining companies. But now the Treasurer's hit back. He's produced a letter written 6 months ago from the WA Premier to the Commonwealth Grants Commission explicitly ruling out an increase to those royalties.
So let's have no more of this nonsense that we've heard in the House and outside the House in the last 24 hours. The Premier of Western Australia opposed the increase in public. He may have been telling them in private he was going to do it, but in public he was opposing an increase in the royalties that he has imposed on the mining industry, and those opposite are absolutely embarrassed by his abject performance and their misrepresentations.
But the opposition accused the Treasurer of fishing for evidence when he refused to table the letter to Parliament.
Is the document confidential? Order. Order.
And it's keeping up the pressure on Wayne Swan with personal attacks, which the government said went too far in question time today.
The Leader of the House is mistaken. Yesterday I withdrew the comment bag man. Today I did not use the word. Today I called the Treasurer a pathetic liar. So which one do you want me to withdraw?
The government got its way.
I withdraw.
Just. Tom Higgledon, Late Line.